Humans of the cardboard, good morning. We've got even more Yu-Gi-Oh support here. Well, I guess still a first wave. We're looking at the, I believe, final new card revealed for the deck build pack Wild Survivors in the OCG. We will get this probably 3 months-ish from now. But it's a very exciting set to me, honestly. I always get really hyped for the deck build packs. This doesn't seem to be overall the most impactful one, but we also thought the one with the adventure tokens and Exorcisters wasn't very good. And then all three of those archetypes ended up being like legit meta relevant at some point. So we'll see, of course, especially once we get like the second and third waves of support for these archetypes as well. So getting into it, let's take a look. I mean, we start with a new spell card here. Well, finishing up, I guess. We have everything else revealed. We have all the Transcendrics revealed, I believe. We have all of the Nouvelle cards revealed, I believe. So this should be the final card for the set. It's a spell card. You know, not my favorite artwork. There's something a little off about it, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. Here we go. This is Stake Your Soul. This is a normal spell card. This does not have Vanquish Soul in the name, so it may not be searchable by other ways, but it is still a starter card, extender card in its own right. You can only activate a card with this card's name once per turn. Reveal one monster in your hand. That is cost, just the reveal. Special summon one Vanquish Soul monster from your deck with a different name but the same attribute, but return it to the owner's hand during the end phase. Okay, I mean, pretty simple, pretty straight to the point, nothing insane, but I do think it's like a decent little card here. Is it going to see play? I don't think it's guaranteed this card will be played in the archetype, but I do think there definitely is a world where we look at this and go, it's good enough. It's going to help the deck enough, get you access to the right types of cards you want to get to, especially when we decide that you can kind of build the deck in a way that helps facilitate stuff like this. So what I mean by that is there is a little bit of awkwardness here in the fact that you have to reveal a monster. I've never been a huge fan of cards that require you to open specific types of cards in your hand that kind of can contribute to bricking a little bit, that also can be a terrible top deck at times, because you're not starting with a full hand at that point anyway, so like even more so in that situation. But it's also fair that the deck has a link 1 that adds back any Vanquish Soul card or card from graveyard or monster from graveyard, which means like as long as you have anything in there, you can almost guarantee yourself to be able to make this card live. You can just connect the link 1. So I do think the way that the archetype is set up, this card does work out quite well. But here's the thing. I like that this card doesn't have to give up the card you're revealing, right? You just reveal it. You do not have to. We've seen cards like this that maybe shuffle the card you revealed back into the deck. You know what I mean? Like send that card to the graveyard. You don't have to give it up at all. You just need to show it, which is a good part of about this archetype, is they could have definitely made that part of it, but you just have to show the cards. You don't have to get rid of them. So you're maintaining advantage quite well. And as far as deck building goes, I mean, think about it this way. The 3 attributes this deck is comprised of are Earth, Dark, and Fire. Specifically, Dark and Fire are the 2 best targets for this card, because you're able to just, those are their like starter search cards, right? The Fire guy searches any monster in the archetype. The Dark Girl, searches any spell or trap in the archetype. So we want to keep plussing normally. And so in that same vein, Dark is easy, right? I mean, depending on the format, we're talking Bestials, we're talking DD Crows, we're talking any hand trap that's just dark, right? Like those exist. Dark is the most common attribute in the game. Not a huge deal. Not going to be hard to meet that requirement. And even Fire. I mean, Ash Blossom. I mean, outside of Ash Blossom, there may not be a ton of options there. So that's definitely something concerning, because the second Fire guy in the archetype is not great. So I'm not sure if we're going to be playing him, because you have to summon a monster from your deck with a different name than the monster you revealed. So you can't reveal the Fire guy to summon a second Fire guy from deck, unfortunately. And so we may have to try and find our way into other avenues to be able to play other Fire monsters, just to like make this a little more consistent. But I do think at the very least, being able to go like, even being able to do combos where you are searching one of the guys, one of the attributes you want, just to make this card a really worthwhile extender in the exact way you want, can still work out. Plus, keep in mind, this is the first wave for these archetypes. We have seen this, especially in the most recent times with the deck build packs. These come out, and then in the very next 2 core sets, we get support for all 3 of these archetypes, or at least 2 of the 3. And so, you know, we get another good monster, we get another really good, you know, search target for the girl, for the spell or trap searching girl, whatever. Then obviously things change, and then we change how we view like what the best targets are, what we want to pair with this card. There's a lot going on, right? It seems like a simple card, but there's obviously a lot going on, especially in terms of deck building and how we're going to attempt to make this card as alive as possible. But there's still like a lot to dig into here. So, yeah, all in all, pretty cool card. It could end up being an important starter / search card for the archetype. So I'm not looking down on it too much. It may adjust the way we try to deck build the deck, but you know, it could still work out. So I don't hate it. Kind of wish it could have been a little better, but I'm not going to complain too much. I already really liked the start to the archetype so far, but we'll see. So yeah, that's it for us here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below on this, not only this card and how it functions in Vanquish Soul, but maybe also like your just overall thoughts on Vanquish Soul. I mean, I had reserved giving my full opinions on the deck before we got the final card. I don't think this necessarily changes too much about where I was on them, but, you know, a little bit. Definitely moves the needle a little. How can it not? But I'd like to hear your guys' overall thoughts on the archetype going in there. And also, I would just keep in mind, like, we should be getting at least 2 more cards for this archetype in the very near future, next couple months. And so that kind of obviously changes things as well. Knowing that, like, oh, it's not that good. But then, like, we've seen Exosister gets, like, whatever, Magnifica plus Malfa. And then you're just like, oh, oh, okay. Exosisters are a top-level rogue deck now. So it's kind of hard to say. But, yeah, those are my thoughts here today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe if you have not yet and you want to stay up to date on all things Yu-Gi-Oh! News. This should finish off the Wild Survivor reveals, but we are still smack dab in the middle of Dueling Nexus, or Duelist Nexus, as well as we should be creeping up on getting those Legendary Duelist Fire reveals. You know, hopefully Volcanics. We'll see about Salamangreat and Battling Boxer and all that other stuff, but should be creeping up on those as well. So a lot of exciting stuff coming. I will bring that to you as soon as it drops. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.